I'm Dr. Rajkumar Deshpande, Director of Neurosurgery at Fortis Hospitals, Bannerghatta Road. Welcome back to the new episode of What Matters Most. This episode concentrates on some types of cancers, lung cancer, breast cancer, and I hope that patients who suffer from these problems will understand from my new guest. For today's What Matters Most episode, I have with me Dr. Niti Raizada Narang, a cancer specialist. She is trained very well. She is trained in All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. She is trained in Hammersmith Hospital, London, and in Adyar Institute, Chennai. And she is with us for many years, and I hope to get some fantastic answers from her how to treat cancers specifically.
Thanks so much, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Niti, for the show. So, I have some questions for you. What are common questions which patients will ask you when they come to the hospital? You must realize that when a patient comes to you referred from somebody thinking that they have a cancer, they're very anxious, they're very worried, they don't know how long they're going to live. So I hope these questions you'll be able to answer so that they can make up and fight this particular dreaded disease. See, one of the things that bothers patients is the fact that the patient will come and say, I've had no incidents or no instance where any family member had cancer. Why is it that I'm getting?
That happens to be a very common question in the clinic. I mean, everybody will say, well, I did not do anything. I mean, I had no habit and I have no family member with cancer and I'm the first member. So why did it happen?
Okay.
Well, what we have to understand is most of the time it's not familial or it's not heritable.
Okay.
So there are about 15 to 20% chance of cancer which runs in the family or which is heritable. But 80% times, 85% time it may not be hereditary or familial.
So, in majority of the patients,
Yes.
cancers come by itself. We call it as de novo, by itself. Something new has happened in the body. If a person is diagnosed to have a cancer, does it mean that he is going to transmit that cancer, whatever it is, to other members of the family?
There are two ways of answering this question. Is cancer genetic?
Okay.
Well, yes, there are mutations which are accumulated and which cause cancer. But whether it is heritable, whether it goes to the family member, most of the time the answer is no. But
Okay.
again, if it is associated with a autosomal dominant trait or any genetic trait which has come in your germline, it has come in your family, then it could be hereditary.
If a member of my family, not really in the immediate family, let's say a cousin or an uncle or aunt or somebody has had a cancer, should I test for a cancer? And how do I test?
If you have family members or if anybody has family members with cancer, come to an oncologist for a discussion. That discussion is centered around your personal risk, whether you have an occupation which causes cancer or you have some exposure like an addiction which causes cancer, and whether it is added up with a family history of cancer. So your oncologist will come to a decision of what was the type of cancer in the family, what was the age, what is your personal risk, and there is a risk formula in which we decide whether you need to be tested or not. And then every testing has its pros and cons. It's not like if I do testing and I find a problem, I have a solution. So you have to discuss with your oncologist whether there is a solution for that problem.
So what you're saying is, if any relative or a friend or a immediate family member has a cancer, talk to the specialist.
Yes.
The specialist will then guide you to the next stage, whether to investigate or what kind of risk you are having. And then they can guide you whether you need to go further or is that enough or you need to visit an oncologist on a regular basis. Okay, excellent. Another question that has popped up as a consequence of that question is, if a family member has a cancerous trait, as you're telling, how frequently should they get tested?
It depends on what exactly is the trait we find out. So there are risk reduction procedures which can be done on such patients.
Okay.
There are risk reduction surgeries, medication which can be done.
Okay.
And then if those things are not possible, then the frequency of investigating them or the frequency of screening can change.
Okay.
And again, there will be something which is clearly dictated to you that these are the ways you have to follow up and at this frequency.
One of the things that is bothering me, and I have spoken to many patients and many patients ask me is, if I have had cancer or if I am treating for cancer now, should I take in the present pandemic should
Yes.
I take COVID vaccination?
Yes.
Is it safe?
So again, I mean, all my patients would come at one time to ask the same question. So one thing is whether they are currently on treatment, and second thing is whether they are cancer survivors.
Okay.
Have they gone through this? It all depends on what stage of treatment you are in. If you are actually having currently chemotherapy or immunotherapy, then talk to your doctor.
Okay.
But by and large, it is safe as far as the WBC count is normal.
Okay.
Second thing is that if you are a cancer survivor, all such patients should be vaccinated. Third thing is if you already have had COVID and cancer, even then, after a certain span of time, you can still take COVID vaccination. Only one area where we would actually not give vaccination is when you are probably on acute leukemia treatment or
Okay.
undergoing a transplant.
Exactly, I was about to ask the same question. When should you avoid a vaccination?
Yes.
That's one question. When should you avoid vaccination if you are on treatment for cancer?
So when your WBC or platelet count
Okay.
seem to be low, that's
Okay.
not the time we take. And when there's acute leukemia treatment going on and your immunity is playing games, so it's best to avoid.
What
that
about
time.
if you are getting radiotherapy and you are getting chemotherapy? At that time, can you take the COVID vaccine?
So during radiation, it is a yes, but again talk to your doctor. During surgery, immediately after surgery, yes, it is possible.
Excellent.
For breast cancer, there is a little bit of guideline in which try to take it in the opposite arm.
Okay.
So if it's a right-sided cancer, you preferably take on the left arm and
Okay.
vice versa.
But the doctor will guide you.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. What happens to cancer patients if they get COVID?
One important thing which we have to understand here is that most of these patients have comorbidities. They are not as fit. They may be
Okay.
having hypertension, diabetes because they are elderly. So they already have immunity compromised on other accounts. And then other thing is they come frequently to the hospital, which is not the case with other healthy individuals. Their frequency of hospital visits and exposing themselves to so many people also exposes them at risk. In general, there's nothing to say that COVID risk is higher in such individuals, but yes, exposure is higher. And if you have uncontrolled malignancy, then your immunity is less and it can cause severe COVID.
So thank you, Dr. Niti, for a wonderful conversation. You have cleared so many doubts that people would have had. You have answered fantastically on this episode of What Matters Most. Thank you once again
Thank
for
you,
this
sir.
lovely conversation. If there are any comments or questions, please do not hesitate to write in the comments below or contact the telephone number that is put up on the screen. Thank you.